But I think you're absolutely right in the pregnancy specifically is a massive thing that can potentially detriment women's careers. Um, do you think that's often the case, that they find it then harder to keep up with male colleagues who have had the 2 years or whatever of just continuous progress, and because there's that gap, do you think some women then find it harder to sort of catch up or keep up?
That's an interesting conversation. Um, I think it's, uh, I think Goldman Sachs or something offers paternity leave,
Hmm.
6 months paternity leave, and yet not many men want to take that paternity leave
Mm.
because I believe, anyway, this is what I've heard, is because they feel that then they won't be around to, you know, to
Progress,
to
take the
progress.
opportunities and whatnot. Mm.
From my own experience, that time out, uh, bringing up your children, and doing voluntary work, and juggling, I've never found as being negative. In fact, I found it as being uh, as being the foundations for sort of leadership and organisation. So, for example, when we went to live in Oman. Um, I took on the role of deputy head of department, and my head of department wasn't really there. We had to build the rehabilitation program across the country. I was given the opportunity to do that, and so I felt that all the voluntary work and the working with the children, and I used to sometimes help out as a class mum and things like that. All of that had helped me in developing my skills, my leadership skills,
Mm.
and communicating and things like that with others. And then I was able to use that, when I came to Bournemouth University, because,
Right.
I started when I was in Oman. I actually didn't even have a degree, because when I trained as a physiotherapist, we got a graduate diploma back in the 80s. And it wasn't until the 2000s that I went off and got a master's degree, and then later on joined Bournemouth University,
Mhm.
and then did a PhD. And so I think I think women need to reflect on the fact that bringing up a family and maybe doing some part-time work and juggling all the other commitments around looking after maybe elderly parents, or being a caregiver, all of those things are giving you experience that you can use in building your career. Now, I maybe that won't be the case for every career,
Mhm.
but I think it's something that people should consider.
That's a really interesting insight. I think maybe maybe your perspective on that has helped you turn it into a positive. Do you know what I mean? Perhaps others, they're thinking of it as a negative, and so it becomes a negative almost. Is perhaps
Yeah, yeah.
something along those lines.